Monarch is building the future for those interested in one wallet that consolidates the best services and functionality into one simple and easy-to-use app. Monarch will empower users to control all aspects of their financial kingdom from the palm of their hand. You may have heard the phrase, not your keys, not your crypto. With Monarch, you own your keys and seed, meaning you own your crypto. With Monarch, you can store, receive, send, swap, buy, sell, and earn interest on your crypto, track your portfolio, the news, the market cap, and more today. We're constantly adding new services and updates too. Learn more today by visiting monarchtoken.io or download the wallet for free today from Apple or Google. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Beards and Bitcoins, the crypto podcast for the man's man and the ladies that love them. I'm joined here today by my co-host, Jay Chains. What is going on, Jay?
What is up, buddy? Good to see you. Happy day of recording is Friday.
That's right.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, guys, if you work the 9-to-5 job. Like our good friend, our guest, Leah from Girl Gone Crypto. Special guest today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show. Even though I don't have a beard, I appreciate the exception.
Yeah. Well, you could probably take your hair and flip it under and make it look like a beard. There you go.
There you go. Screenshot that.
I knew you would do it.
Screenshot that.
Yeah. Don't worry. I have the recording. I'm going to definitely put that out all over the interwebs. But yeah, so we were at World CryptoCon together and I had no idea who you were. No offense, but I was like, I saw you talking to people. I didn't know who you were. And then later on, I was actually at the poker table right before I left. And I saw a picture of you, I think, with the Wild West Crypto Show. And I saw your Twitter handle. I was like, oh, that's Girl Gone Crypto. A lot of people have told me about you and said that you're, like an up and coming person in the space and that your content is really, really good. So I went and I checked some of it out. And after watching just a couple minutes of a couple videos, I was like, man, we got to get her on the podcast. So unfortunately, we didn't get to connect while we were there. But now, we've connected, want to have you on the show and talk to everybody about what you're doing.
Awesome. Yeah. So thanks for that great introduction. My channel is Girl Gone Crypto. So just kind of a high level overview of what I'm doing. I basically focus on video. I mean, obviously you can always find me on crypto Twitter. That's probably where I'm hanging out the most. But in terms of video content, do a whole range of things from making different tutorials or maybe even covering certain projects or doing interviews, talking to people that are smarter than me and picking their brain. My whole kind of thing is, I've been in the crypto space for a few years and we can talk about that too. Right. But I feel like a lot of the space felt intimidating to me coming in. And I feel like I've kept that kind of that essence where I know the right questions to ask. I know what people that are either in my shoes or were in my shoes, where I was a couple of years ago, what kind of questions they're asking. So I'm always trying to make content that is, as I like to say, interesting to nerds and normies alike. So it's got enough information that, people that are in the space find it helpful, but then I'm asking and dumbing it down enough, asking the right questions that people that are new will find it approachable too.
That is 100% on target with our strategy as well. If you get too techy, we're going to hit you with a nerd alert.
That's right.
Oh,
you got to watch out. If you start getting in the weeds with some tech stuff, we got to hit that nerd alert. Because, our whole thing is we're just regular dudes. We're not computer nerds. We don't play World of Warcraft. No offense if someone plays World of Warcraft, but that's not our thing. We like sports, football, normal guy stuff. That's the whole basis of our podcast. We like normal guy stuff. So
I mean, normal guys can like that stuff too, but
but there's a whole list of things I could say that qualify people to be nerds, but we won't go there today. So but the whole thing is if the space has such a high level of entry, a high barrier of you have to know how to be a computer programmer to come in, which is what a lot of people think. It's never going to grow. The space is never going to grow. So, you have to do things, for beginners and intermediate to try to draw more people in, because there's a lot of people out there that are actually, I would say on the intermediate level, but they're not involved in the crypto community at all. And it's really about bringing those people in. And that's, the more social buzz about cryptocurrency, the better it's going to do. I mean, you can see that the price and the Google Trends chart are almost the exact same. So, yeah. So tell us a little bit about, I know you've done some videos where you talk a lot, not just about crypto, but about marketing and kind of how to market yourself at conferences. You did a video that was like things you wanted to talk to people about at conferences, or I don't remember what the title of that video was. But what is your basis for kind of making some of those, almost marketing videos in cryptocurrency?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So that's an area that I think I'm going to dabble a little bit more in because, to be honest, there's a lot of really terrible marketing in the crypto space. And so
100%.
Agreed.
and that's something that I am really excited about, really passionate about. Like I can constantly be found listening to podcasts, watching YouTube videos about, whether it's how to utilize native video on LinkedIn or how to use TikTok or all these different things, crypto Twitter, different tags, SEO, keyword research. Like to me, that stuff is really interesting. Mm-hmm. And so if I can impart some of that knowledge and kind of put a little bit of a crypto twist on it to say, okay, maybe you're not going to be going out and listening to Amy Porterfield or Brittany Crystal or all these different things, but maybe you as a, head of communications or as a, the founder of a crypto project, like maybe you would listen to someone who's taken that knowledge and can kind of, siphon it down into something that's more relatable to the crypto world. So I've made some videos on that and I'm thinking about kind of dabbling more in that arena as well.
That's really smart because I think a lot of the marketing plan is just to give away free coins. And obviously that ends up backfiring on most projects because then people just dump the free coins for Bitcoin. So to have a marketing strategy, I like that. That's a good approach to take, not only for, absorbing into it and trying to really provide something into space, but really help with the mass adoption because marketing is probably one of the biggest things that's missing. I mean, you've got Jay Sun, who's
my boy.
Yeah, he's the
my
hype
dude.
king.
I got big things happening right now. Probably by the time this publishes, I can talk about it. I got big stuff going on with Justin Sun right now, so don't talk about him, okay? That's my dude right there. It's my boy.
That's his dude right there. That's
we tight.
But he's like the only one that really does anything
he's
notable.
The hype man.
He is the hype man for crypto. I mean, you got John McAfee, who I think, he's done his thing and he'll continue to be on the run, which I think has kind of hurt his space and the place in the space. But, you've got some very few hype men.
Yeah. And I mean, I've got I would say probably a bit of a love-hate relationship with Tron, right? Because I would, I'd say like as a blockchain itself, it might not be, my favorite blockchain, but at the same time, and Justin Sun, as colorful of a character as he is out there making splashes, doing things. He's very ambitious. So even if I think Tron, don't quote me that it's maybe a garbage blockchain, but there's a lot of potential, dropping it. But I do really appreciate what he's doing, with the space and how he's just kind of getting out there and putting it in people's faces.
Yeah. And I think it's really important because a lot of projects that don't like him, they would give anything to trade Tron's marketing for theirs. So, but I do think there's a lot of terrible marketing in the space. Obviously, as a person that does sponsor content on my channel, I work with a lot of different projects. I'm, of course, always transparent about it. But, there is a lot of these companies, they're getting a little bit smarter. So like about a year and a half ago, the only thing they cared about was subscriber numbers. Like that was literally it. And there were actually guys who created YouTube channels, stayed anonymous, bought thousands of subscribers and went to, 120,000 subscribers literally overnight, and projects were paying them a Bitcoin to do a review on them. There was no, even as a person that's not, I've done a good bit of internet marketing, but I could look at those channels and within 5 seconds know they were fake. And it's like, how can these crypto projects that are spending all of this money, at the time, Bitcoin was probably around, I don't know, $7,000 or $8,000, spend $8,000 paying someone that has literally no real subscribers, and all of their comments were fake. And there was one of these videos that actually they bought the comments, which they're bot comments. So they kind of, I think they pulled from Wikipedia pages or something, but they literally duplicated the comments. It was on accident. So the whole page, hundreds of comments, it was, comment 1, comment 2, and they were the same comment all the way down. It was like so insane.
Wow.
Yeah, the lack of understanding or analyzing analytics.
What I think is interesting is in a lot of other industries, you've seen that shift happen where brands are no longer just looking at follower counts. They want to see your engagement numbers. And I just don't think that's really hit the crypto space yet. I think people are still wowed by follower numbers. And, I obviously won't name who this is, but I had a really interesting conversation with someone that does, marketing strategy for blockchain companies. Like he's got an agency and he straight up was like, oh yeah, I'll buy accounts that have lots of followers for them just to get them going, just so they can be taken seriously. And I'm like, wow, it's not a great long-term strategy, you know, and I think eventually crypto brands are going to kind of come along the trend with the rest of, you know, I'd say various different industries that really are looking at engagement over followers.
Well, this is definitely one of the strangest niches out there for so many different reasons, and really because it's so young. Where right now, like with, and this is what I tell people when I'm trying to get people involved in like content creation. Like for me, I make a full-time income off 13,000 subscribers on my channel. And now I've got other things going on as well, like not just the channel, but the podcasts and, you know, I run a node or whatever, but I'm full-time crypto. And the bulk of my money is coming from my YouTube channel with 13,000 subscribers. In most niches, if you had 13,000 subscribers, they wouldn't even look at you. That's like, that's like nothing. Like in the fitness niche, you probably need at least $200,000 or $300,000 to really be able to monetize and make a living in that niche because there's just so much saturation. But the saturation is not there right now. So there's really there's so many opportunities for people to create content in this space. And so for companies that want to do it the shortcut way, I worked with one company that I like the people. It's not a crypto project, but they just went about everything the wrong way. They bought a bunch of accounts and they thought like, oh, we just have these numbers and this will be enough. And it's like, no, first of all, when you it would work if you bought from another crypto account to some extent. But if you buy an account that is in another niche and you just all of a sudden expect all of those people to just be interested in crypto because you bought that account.
Just a bunch of truck dudes.
Yeah, that does not work. That does not work at all.
Wait a second. This used to be like 4x4soffroaders.com. Why is it?
And I saw that. Yeah, I saw that exact situation happen when this person bought this account and you know, all of a sudden all the comments were negative, like, well, I didn't subscribe to this. Like, that's what people think, that somehow they accidentally got subscribed or following that account. So
yeah, I think, you know, I mean, there's a difference, right? But I think people that are doing that are maybe looking more for the quick buck, right? Which I mean, as you just said, like there is money in crypto for content creators. Like that opportunity for a quick buck might exist. But if you are someone that is really wanting to kind of build a long-term personal brand within the space and actually be part of the crypto community, like actually helping it to grow, then I think that this, you know, the slower, longer road is really the only way to set yourself up for success in the future.
Yeah, we all got to do it organically. Do it right.
That's right.
Just like the space is building.
Yeah.
Well, there was a time where it was much quicker. Unfortunately, I started my channel right after that. So, I mean, you know, like Crypto Crow tells me, you know, like in November when he had his channel for a while, but in November when things really took off in 2017, I mean, he was adding like 2,500 subscribers a week, you know.
That'll happen again in the next bull run. I bet you anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, that's what we're all counting on, I think. So, well, let's talk about, so you said you've been in crypto for a few years. Talk about that. How did you get involved in cryptocurrency? Kind of what's your background there?
Yeah, so I have kind of a funny story of how I stumbled into crypto, and it involves a ukulele. And so nice. Are you guys familiar with Steemit or the Steem blockchain?
Yeah.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Okay. So I stumbled across that in early 2017, and I was like, someone had told me like, oh yeah, you can earn crypto or you can earn money, I think is what they told me. I didn't really realize it was crypto. I didn't know what crypto meant. You know, I'd heard the word, but I wasn't like totally familiar. So I posted like this ukulele cover and it made like $100. And I was like, what? Like, what is this? And so I always say that was kind of my gateway drug, because then I kind of kept posting and, you know, over a few years, you know, built a community and a following on there. And it was kind of this whole, like, going down the rabbit hole of like, okay, so that $100, like, where did that money come from? Like, how was that actually made? And now, like, what do I do with it? What is this thing called an exchange? And, you know, what is the benefit of holding versus cashing to fiat and like all of those things, right? So it just kind of opened the door. Like, once I actually had crypto in my hands, I had to kind of then figure out what to do with it, right? And so fast forward a few years, like I said, I was just kind of hanging out on the Steem blockchain, making content on there the last few years. But I was just kind of, like I said, I'd do like music covers or random, like, here's a recipe I made. And just, I don't even know. It was just super random stuff. And so Girl Gone Crypto really only started a few months ago. I decided, I was like, you know, I really enjoy this content creation thing. I'm really passionate about the crypto space. That's something that, like, while being on Steem the last few years, I've been slowly kind of growing my knowledge. And obviously I'm still have so much to learn. I'm still growing that knowledge base for myself. But I decided to launch a more like crypto specific channel and make content about that. And it's been such a fun ride ever since.
Yeah, interesting. I don't know. Maybe I've seen this video of a ukulele cover before. I feel like I've seen some ukulele Steemit content. Maybe it's all coming full circle right now. And you know what else I was thinking about while you were talking is, I remember I think I've got $200 or $300 just sitting there on Steemit, and I haven't been in that account in like a year. I probably need to go get that money.
Get that Jetta.
I would maybe wait till the when we have an alt season come up. Yeah,
and try to find the 100 in the jacket pocket. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's cool. So, okay. So are you still on Steemit? Or are you still making content there as well?
Yep, I definitely am. And so I've kind of transitioned my channel to, it's mainly just my crypto stuff now. Like, so what I'm posting on Girl Gone Crypto, I'm also sharing on Steem. Sometimes I'll make Steem exclusive stuff just because, I've got so many friends there. I've been to all these different Steem conferences and, all these people that I've met in real life. And it's just this awesome thing. So sometimes I'll just make stuff just for them. But yeah, I'm definitely still active. And honestly, that was part of what kind of pushed me to want to go deeper into the crypto space is I kept getting requests to speak at different crypto conferences, not because I was talking about crypto, because like I said, I was doing, kind of more lifestyle stuff, but just because people were following me on Steem and found me. And I was like, okay, there's obviously momentum in this direction. Yeah. So that's kind of how that went.
Very interesting.
So what's your favorite kind of content to create then? Are you still like doing the video stuff? Is it more of like the news or the crypto videos? What's your favorite
TikTok videos?
There it is. You just forced the segue, didn't you?
No, I didn't. No. I didn't even say. I coughed. Actually, that was a cough. I didn't even.
A TikTok cough.
TikTok, yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Let's talk about TikTok then. You guys are both like pretty big into it. I'm still an advocate against it. That's just my stance.
Why though?
It's just weird to me. It's
What's
like
weird
because you know why? Because you put the tone in my mouth. It's like the dregs of society, like these weird people that live in the underbelly of the world.
Yeah, but you have to go down that rabbit hole to get to those people. So
I know, but
I went down that rabbit hole. I got to the totally weird stuff on there, like the most cringiest, like crazy videos of people doing weird stuff, and I managed to come out of the rabbit hole, and I'm back on regular TikTok.
All right, maybe I'll just ride your coattails on a regular TikTok and get out of cringe TikTok.
Leah, why do you think there's so much pushback against TikTok?
I think that people, I think it's a few things. First of all, I think people don't really view it as real content. They think it's kind of stupid, which really content can be anything that other people find value in, which a tweet is content, in my opinion. Like sometimes I talk to people like, oh, I'm not really a content creator. I'm like, really? Because you're in my Twitter feed all the time tweeting. Yeah. You're a content creator in that sense. And so, maybe that like, they're like, oh, this is just a fad, but also I've heard a lot of people, at least in the crypto space, say that they're worried about security and things like that. There's been a few news articles about that. So, I think that still is kind of up for debate on the extent of maybe some sort of security issue. But at the same time, we're all, or I should say most of us are probably on Facebook and, Instagram and all these other places where there's probably quite similar security issues.
Well, there's apparently TikTok is owned by some Chinese company. And I could have sworn it was Russia. I think Russia owned Musical.ly, and then it went to TikTok, and then this Chinese company bought it. But, everybody's saying like, oh, they're trying to steal our data and stuff. Well, TikTok is not the same as other platforms. So on TikTok, like you're not putting that much information about yourself out there to begin with. As much as you want. Like obviously I've got it connected to my Twitter. I've got, my YouTube channel listed on there. I don't even remember what I have on there, but it's not like Facebook. The thing that makes Facebook so much more dangerous than every other platform for your privacy and why you have to be the most careful there. That's why I don't have a regular Facebook account like with my own name. Is because you're putting out so much personal information on that side. That you're connected to all of your family, all of your friends, all of your statuses that are like literal updates about what you're doing. And that's how Cambridge Analytica was able to like get those 5,000 data points on everybody on Facebook. Mm-hmm. But even on Instagram, I'm not as worried about that because I'm not putting out, like I'm just putting out content. If that makes sense. So Facebook feels much more personal. And so for TikTok, like, what are they trying to get from me? They want to know how long I hover on a video of somebody dressed up like a clown, like, okay, great. That's fine.
Yeah, and one thing that's interesting about Facebook too, one thing I've heard is that even if you aren't on Facebook, you aren't necessarily like shielded from that, because all those people, when they click, Facebook asks, can I look through your contacts to see if you know someone? That's a data point they're collecting. Yeah. And eventually when they've noticed that you are in all of these different people's contacts, and maybe in a similar geographic region that seems to have similar political mindsets, they're actually able to create almost a profile for you, even if you're not on Facebook.
Wow, that's scary.
That is crazy.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. I really want to get back to TikTok, but
I know we should.
we will. We'll get back to TikTok. Don't worry, guys. I'm actually scrolling through it right now while we're potting. I'm just kidding. I'm not really. But
wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Have you guys heard of this secret consumer score?
Yeah.
Like the thing that they're doing over in China?
No. Those are social scores.
That's the social score, right? Yeah.
Yeah. No. This is going to blow your mind. So I actually talked about this in my Decentralized America talk at UCF last week. There's a New York Times article that was out on this, and no one even knows this exists. But this is not tinfoil hat theory. This is legit. I can give you the name of the biggest company. So basically what it is they're third-party data collection services that create a score for you. And they give that score to companies. And those companies then determine how to treat you based on your score. So for instance, if let's say you call Verizon, let's say you got Verizon as your cell phone provider, and you call Verizon. If Verizon works with one of these companies that gives these scores, the amount of time that you wait on hold is determined by that score.
Whoa.
What?
Yes, this is true. You can look this up. If you go to Best Buy and you have a return, but you don't have your receipt, whether or not they'll exchange it for another item or give you your money back or even do anything is determined by that score.
Dude, are you serious?
100%.
This is crazy.
It's
is that
insane.
Live now, or is that?
Yes, no, it is. So the number one company that does this is called Sift, SIFT. And I keep meaning to do this. I keep forgetting. But if you email, I believe it is privacy@sift.com and request your report, they will send it to you, because the state of California enacted a privacy law recently, which good for California. They said that basically if a company has data collection on you, if they have information about you, they are required to give it to you if you ask for it.
Is that going to be, that's probably through the Freedom of Information Act?
I don't know if it's through that act. I think it's a newer law, I believe, because that's an older law.
I remember that going through in California. I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, I remember when that passed.
Maybe that is it. Maybe that is the law. I was thinking that was a little bit older, but yeah. So this guy, he requested a secret consumer score from Sift. Now there's about 8 different companies that do it, but Sift is the biggest one. They had 400 pages on him. And not listen to what was in there. Listen to what was in there. Coinbase works with these people also, because what was in there is every single time that he had opened his Coinbase app and closed it. Now, some people said, well, how do you know that's not Apple? Because, or whatever phone company he had, or a phone provider, not phone provider, the physical phone. Well, they didn't say that about any other app in the article. They specifically said Coinbase. They also knew, like in a certain month, he had requested a password change with Coinbase. That was in there. This guy did a lot of stuff with Airbnb, okay? They had every single message he had ever sent back and forth on Airbnb.
Wow.
Yeah.
So all those times that I get angry at the customer service thing and scream and yell, that doesn't mean no good.
Lowering your score.
Lowering your score.
It always gets you what you need right away, though.
Yeah.
But in the long run, I guess it hurts you.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe, but I don't know if yelling matters. I don't know if the way that you treat them on the phone matters. It's more, how much money does this person have? What kind of class in society is he in? What political affiliation is he with?
That's even worse.
Yeah.
Worse.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Huh.
Wow.
Yeah. I know this is
mind-blowing.
This is mind-blowing stuff.
How do they know how much money? I mean, are they basing do they have information to kind of like banking records, or is it more like how much you spend? They're kind of extrapolating that out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like with Cambridge Analytica. Like, they built profiles on people to determine, like, this is a person that can be, swayed politically. So they build profiles on us, and all of the data points that goes in, like, sometimes like we just think things are random. Like we happen to shop at certain stores, or, we happen to, go to certain places on vacation. So the Airbnb stuff, they knew where he was going on vacation. They can piece together by where you're staying, where you're going, what kind of places you're shopping at, what items you're buying. Obviously, if you're using Coinbase, you're into cryptocurrency, your Yelp reviews, he had a bunch of Yelp reviews that they had. Also, his order with Grubhub, they have orders with Grubhub that he made.
Whoa.
So they know the kind of food he ate. They know everything. And it's like, sometimes it feels like we're walking around this giant simulation where like we're just, computer programs that are informational, because people can determine certain things about us just by our habits. And, they're doing it right now. It's great. Nobody knows about this. I talked to about 150 people in Florida between 2 different events, and literally one person in the entire room had heard about this. So you got to check out the New York Times article about it. It is absolutely fascinating stuff. This is all going on and we don't even realize it. So you may be scared of TikTok, of people, because you're afraid China is going to have some kind of information on you, yet your own government is, or your own country is spying on you, and this is allowed. So,
wow. You can go to sift.co.privacy. Sift Media, is that right?
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't gone to it yet.
I mean, it's about an advertising company that's targeted advertising to consumers.
Yep. So. That's it.
Wow. I was just going to say that I was very impressed with your segue back to TikTok with that. That was quite craftful there.
Why?
Hey, don't worry. I'm the master of the segue. That's one thing. I talk a lot and I will go down all kinds of rabbit trails, but I will always bring it back around every time. So here we are back at where we started, TikTok. Okay. So what is your strategy on TikTok? How do you view TikTok? Let me say this. How do you view TikTok being helpful for like a crypto content creator?
Yeah. So the way I'm kind of approaching it right now is when I first joined, I was like, oh, I'll just make kind of funny crypto related things. And then maybe kind of branch to that like 6 degrees of separation where maybe I talk about like more like liberty, freedom kind of things, or maybe I talk about security, or just kind of random things, but make it playful and fun. And I've kind of branched into then doing more of the random dance challenges that are happening, just stuff like that, because it's kind of fun. So I don't know, I probably should get back into actually making like crypto related stuff more. But the way that I am kind of looking at it is, even though that TikTok is it's not a new platform, but it's an exploding platform. Yeah. And so I feel like it's at a point where maybe Facebook, Instagram were like 5-6 years ago, where if you got in then, you just kind of blew up. And I think that TikTok is still in that way. It's exciting to me in a few ways, because like literally, even when I had only 13 followers, I think I had just joined, I was getting like thousands of views. Yeah. And so that to me is very interesting. And the fact that you can link your YouTube and do different things, like what a strategy I've seen a lot of people on the platform use is, they build a following and then they start converting that following into other channels. And so, maybe they'll be like, hey, doing a TikTok, and they're like giving away something on my YouTube channel, go check it out. And so they use that platform as a way to kind of help draw people that maybe are interested in crypto into those other kind of channels that they have.
Yeah, I think you're dead on with your content strategy there. I mean, that's basically exactly what I'm trying to do, which is, it's funny. I saw you jumped on the AirPod hack train.
I know, I saw both you and I do one. I was like, all right, I've got AirPods. I'm going to do something with it.
those are, and it was a good one. I liked it. For whatever reason, like the AirPod hacks, like they're the money, right there. Like if you do an AirPod hack, you're going to get views on it for some reason. I guess because everybody's wearing AirPods when they're watching it, because they don't want anyone around them to know that they're actually watching TikTok. But, but yeah, so my thing is like, we've discovered like all kinds of different ways that are, ways of getting views on there. And, sometimes I feel like my best ones don't get seen. And then the ones I make that take like 2 seconds get the most views, which is frustrating. But my thing is like, I like talking about privacy. I like talking about being a content creator. I like talking about being a YouTuber. That's something I know that, younger generation is interested in. But if that's all the content that we made, it's not going to go viral, and you're not going to be able to get the views to build the platform. And especially not with crypto, like I made a real funny crypto video yesterday. Like nobody watched it because people don't care. They don't know about it. But if you build it up and you talk about entrepreneurship, you talk about privacy, you talk about creating content, and you build that platform, then all of a sudden your audience is interested in what you're interested in. So, I'm not on TikTok because I enjoy making TikTok videos. Like, trust me, it's a grind. I don't I don't want to make TikTok videos. Like every day it's like, oh gosh, I got to make TikTok videos today. Because it's so hard being creative to come up with those ideas that number one are original, and number two, people are going to like, and number three are going to get clicks and views. But I know that in the long term, you're right. This is an exploding platform. Right now, the supply of content does not match the demand. I had somebody that lives on the other side of the country send me a message on my fake Facebook account that I have and said, like, oh, I haven't seen you on here in a while, but I found you. I saw you on TikTok, and it was one of my AirPod videos. And he's like, I was scrolling through, and here you were, you know? So I know it works somewhat geographical also. So the fact that he lives in a totally other place, like that to me says my content is getting seen like around the country. And I think it's such a great time to be able to get in right now and build a following, because this time will not be around for maybe another year at the most, while you still have an opportunity to blow up. I mean, I had 1.6 million views on a video. That's more than my entire YouTube channel in 2 years has gotten.
Wow.
Yeah. One video that took literally zero thought went into it. I was passing SeaWorld and I was like, let me just try to film the SeaWorld. Maybe I can do something with this sign. I don't even know what I'd do with it, you know? And I just I filmed it and I was like, you know, people don't like SeaWorld. They think it, you know, they have the whales in cages and stuff. I was like, let me put, what was that I put? I've never been this close to a prison before. And that was facing the bottom of the Uber we were in. And then I pulled it up and it's the SeaWorld sign. And it's caught terribly. Like you don't even get a good look at the sign. It's got 1.6 million views.
That one, oh my gosh. Actually, I think I even sent you a message because I think I noticed it when it was maybe 50,000 views. And I was like, whoa, you're blowing up. And I literally had my popcorn. I'm cheering you on. I'm like, keep going.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's a good feeling when it's going. But sometimes they just, I don't know. I did one this morning. I thought, did you see my one this morning?
I haven't been on today. I know I'm a terrible TikTok person. You're supposed to be on 24/7 is what I think what people do.
Well, you know, I mean, when you make content, you're always trying to check and see how it's doing, you know? I feel like it hasn't really taken off yet. It's only got 73 views on it right now, but it's basically where it says is this a hidden camera, you know, at the top? And then it's basically me talking about my wife thinks there's a hidden camera in the house. And then I open the shower door and it's a tripod set up with a camera, you know? It's pretty funny, you know? But it's it's hilarious and it looks like some viral content that other people have made, but it's got 73 views. It's so weird when they just decide to let it take off, or some of them, they just die immediately. It's really sad.
Sometimes there's a little bit of a delayed bump, you know, where maybe I'll think it's dead, but then 3 or 4 days later, it just kind of takes off.
Yeah.
But it is really random. Yeah, exactly. And I'll send you the link. I'll have to find it. But I found this guy on YouTube that lives in China and he's a total data scientist and he does all this stuff to crack the algorithm on TikTok and he's got all this really interesting videos. So anyway, it's kind of been blowing my mind a little, so I'll send it to you. But I think you kind of have to feel disattached a little with the outcome of your TikToks, because the ones that I've been nailed it, this is amazing, just go nowhere. So you never know. But you just gotta kind of almost like spaghetti, just keep throwing things up on the wall, you know, see what happens.
Yeah, that is what it is for sure, you know. And I mean, I've seen some of Nye's and I'm like, you know, wow, this one was really funny that he did, and it get no traction, you know. Nye's, he makes 10 of them a day, you know, he's really I try to make maybe 2 or 3. I usually am I'll make 2. And then at the end of the day, I'm dang it, neither one of those went viral. Let me make another one.
No,
you know?
so
it's addicting.
do you make that many with the hopes to get viral, or just to keep the content going so you feel like it stays relevant, so that your feed is constantly showing up? Is that how it works?
Yeah, I don't know. I think for me, it's kind of a mix. You know, if I had something I did really well that day, I might feel less likely oh, I'm going to go make another one.
Yeah.
But, you know, it kind of depends. You know, I had to last week be okay, no more TikToks. I need to go make an actual YouTube video now, you know. But, you know, I do think that the algorithm, and even just for the fact of keeping momentum going, I think that being regular is a really good thing. I mean, on any platform, right? Being consistent, being regular is really good, and TikTok is no different than that.
Well, I just try to constantly put out different content and try to figure out what people are going to like, because my video that got 1.6 million views on it, I didn't get a lot of subscribers or a lot of followers from that. So I've actually gotten more followers from one that had about 500,000 views on it than I did with the one that got 3 times more. And what I learned is that's great if I can catch a real funny moment or something that really sparks. I'll try to capture it, but I'm not going to go too far out of my way to make videos similar to that one, because I know they're not going to produce a result. So I think having your face in the video makes people follow you more. So I've been trying to put my face in the videos instead of like, making little funny memes or whatever it might be. And, I'm up to 1,600 now. So I'm like, what are you at? Like 400?
Yeah, about 400 actually,
Yeah.
something like that. I haven't had anything go viral yet. In fact, I was telling my friends, I was like, I've been on TikTok for a week and I'm not famous yet. What's wrong with this? Just
It's crazy because you do feel like that. You feel like, oh, this is it right here. Like this is the one, and then you post it and it gets like 400 views and you're like, what? I made this like really funny, like office glow up video that was like, it showed characters from the office, and then the last one was like Dwight. And then the glow up was like, Jim dressed as Dwight, from that episode or whatever. I was like, man, this is so funny, and it got like 1,100 views on it. I'm like, man, come on, algorithm. What are you doing? And it really does feel like sometimes it is. I think the reason why it comes across as completely random is it literally just depends on, it sounds like you know a little bit about how the algorithm works, but what it does, it puts your content on a few people's For You pages. And if those people like that content or they hover on it or watch it twice or like it, then it shows it to more people. And they're just basically kind of like what is the word I'm looking for here?
Snowball
like
effect.
past different tests.
Yes. It's got to pass different tests.
Progress to the next level.
But if it just happens to randomly show it to like 20 people that don't know what The Office is or that haven't watched it, they're not going to care at all, and there's not, I don't think there's a science to the people that they show it to. I mean, if it's maybe in a certain niche, they might, but but if somebody who has a lot of followers likes your content, then I know that counts a lot because my brother, he made his first TikTok ever got like 250,000 views on it.
Whoa,
and
nice.
Yeah. It was just some like silly thing he made based off of a trend, and he made the content and he put it out. And sure enough, like it got about 8,000 views in the first hour. And he was like, man, this is crazy. I made a little duet with it because I was like, I want to ride your clout, And it got like 8,000 views. And that was a lot like the first week I was on, on TikTok. I hadn't even made any content that ever had over 150 or 200 views. And so he had 8,000. I was like, oh, that's cool. Well, 3 days later, a big account that's got like 800,000, followers or whatever liked it. And then it exploded. So it just takes the one right person. So that's why the more that those of us that are in crypto stick together, right, as one of us grows, we all grow because like it's literally like a manifestation of clout. Like the more clout that you have on TikTok, the more you can help your friends out too with that clout, as opposed to on Twitter where it's all
I
fake
love
clout.
that. I hadn't even thought about that. You're right.
Yeah.
Take your homies with you.
Good point.
Yeah, exactly.
You got your
Come on,
crew.
Justin. Get
right.
on there.
All right, I'm hopping in.
Come bring it, dude. Dude, make the Beards and Bitcoins account, dude. Just run that over there. You can show you can show beard grooming tips, dude.
Ooh,
You got a nice beard, bro.
it's very kind of you.
It's not as good as Leah's when she wrapped her hair around her chin. That was
I know.
look at that.
I know.
Wow,
I'm
that is
the beard queen right
the beard
here.
queen.
So it's funny.
Should not be a thing.
It's funny. We actually interviewed a gentleman, Aaron D. Johnston, who was the world mustache champion.
Goatee.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Andrew. Or Aaron. Jesus. He was the goatee champion for the Worlds in 2017.
Yeah.
But he said that at the events that they have here, there are the women that join it too. And they do like knitted ones, and they're called the Whiskerinas.
Oh, I forgot that's what it was called. The Whiskerinas.
I
Whiskerinas.
don't think that's something I'm going to Google. I just.
That's a good point.
It's pretty funny. Well, but you know what's really interesting is the beard community, the facial hair community is very similar to the crypto community. Like it's very niched. It's pretty small. It's probably about the same size as the crypto community, honestly, at least where we're at now. And they had, like he was telling us, like they had all kinds of drama and infighting between different, this one guy, they're like, well, nobody likes that guy. You've probably seen his picture everywhere, but this guy does this and that.
He had his wife comb his beard where we're all combing our own beards.
Yeah. So
the drama.
yeah. So like for us, like, I'm always excited to bring my wife into crypto. We do a podcast. We're actually about to record a podcast right after this. And, I think that if you're in that community, like, and you're as involved in it as we were involved in crypto, like you want to bring whoever you care about into it with you, So I think that's kind of what happened there. But, I'm not going to have my wife growing a beard. So we're going to say no to that.
Smart. Well, yeah, be on the lookout for the Beards and Bitcoins TikTok channel.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I have to make a special appearance. So,
we'll do special ones.
Oh, very special. So, well, Leah, it has been so great. It has been so great.
I'll bring my, sorry.
No, go ahead. What are you going to bring? I need to know.
I was like, I'm gonna have to make a TikTok with my beard for your
Yes.
Beards in Bitcoin channel.
Yes.
That's all.
Exactly.
That's all I'm trying
But
to say.
you got to flip part of it up so it gives you a goatee. You got to have the top and the
mustache
and the
and the
bottom
beard.
going. Yeah, there. Look at that. That was it. That was perfect. Yeah,
I'll work on my skills.
you could start a trend that could blow up on TikTok. Here you go. And now I've just given you the keys to the kingdom to get more followers than me. I hate when I do that to people. So
Boom. Thanks.
boom. But Leah, it's been so great having you on. It's been definitely a very fun conversation. Look forward to seeing you again, at a crypto conference at some point. So tell everybody where they can find you at.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, obviously TikTok. Wherever people are hanging out, I'm there. So if you just look for Girl Gone Crypto, you should see me pop up.
Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. That was fun.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, guys. It's been awesome.
Loved hearing all about your TikToks.
Yeah, we love TikTok here.
Did you?
All right, guys, that's it for this show. We will see you on the next one.
See ya.
We got this shit locked and go.